Nothing endures but change. Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Protracted and patient effort is needed to develop good character. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Strategy is the craft of the warrior. When you are thoroughly conversant with strategy, you will recognize the enemy's intentions and thus have many opportunities to win. Even if you kill an enemy, if it is not based on what you have learned, it is not the true way. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. You should not have a favorite weapon, nor likes and dislikes. To become overfamiliar with one weapon is as much a fault as not knowing it sufficiently well. When the enemy attacks, remain undisturbed, but feign weakness. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. There are 4 ways in which men pass through life: as gentlemen, farmers, artisans, and merchants. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. When you engage in actual fighting, if victory is long in coming, then men's weapons will grow dull and their ardor will be dampened. If you lay siege to a town, you will exhaust your strength. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease. Let men see, let them know, a real man who lives as he was meant to live. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent. One mark of a great soldier is that he fights on his own terms or fights not at all. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, because an artful life requires being prepared to meet and withstand sudden and unexpected attacks. Anger may in time change to gladness. Vexation may be succeeded by content, but a kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being, nor can the dead ever be brought back to life. Bravery without forethought causes a man to fight blindly and desperately like a mad bull. Such an opponent must not be encountered with brute force, but may be lured into an ambush and slain. It isn't manly to be enraged. Rather, gentleness and civility are more human, and therefore manlier. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must not be besieged, positions which must not be contested, commands of the sovereign which must not be obeyed. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. Your days are numbered. Use them to throw open the windows of your soul to the sun. If you do not, the sun will soon set, and you with it. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. Never accept an inferior position to anyone. It is the strongest spirit that wins, not the most expensive sword. Never leave an enemy behind, or it will rise again to fly at your throat. I am convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me, and 90% of how I react to it.
The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The superior man is satisfied and composed. The mean man is always full of distress. Things that are done, it is needless to speak about. Things that are past, it is needless to blame. The true science of martial arts means practicing them in such a way that they will be useful at any time, and to teach them in such a way that they will be useful in all things. Don't do unto others what you don't want done unto you. Settle one difficulty, and you keep 100 away. In time, all things work to your advantage when you pursue them with an open heart. Whenever you cross swords with an enemy, you must not think of cutting him either strongly or weakly. Just think of cutting and killing him. Be intent solely upon killing the enemy. Do not try to cut strongly, and of course, do not think of cutting weakly. You should only be concerned with killing the enemy. Whoever is first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. Whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted. In duels of strategy, you must move the opponent's attitude. Attack where his spirit is lax. Throw him into confusion. Irritate and terrify him. Take advantage of the enemy's rhythm when he is unsettled, and you can win. With your spirit settled, accumulate practice day by day, and hour by hour. Polish the twofold spirit, heart and mind, and sharpen the twofold gaze, perception, and sight. Under the sword lifted high, there is hell making you tremble. But go ahead, and you have the land of bliss. Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. It is difficult to realize the true way just through sword fencing. Know the smallest things and the biggest things the shallowest things and the deepest things. When your spirit is not in the least clouded, when the clouds of bewilderment clear away, there is the true void. We don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. All strange and terrible events are welcome, but comforts we despise. To see what is right and not to do is the worst cowardice. It does not matter what you bear, but how you bear it. Remember, however, before all else, to strip things of all that disturbs and confuses, and to see what each is at bottom. You will then comprehend that they contain nothing fearful except the actual fear. Let a man learn how to fight by first daring to perform mighty deeds, not where the missiles won't reach. If he is armed with a shield, but getting in close where fighting is hand to hand, inflicting a wound with his long spear or his sword, taking the enemy's life with his foot planted alongside a foot, and his shield pressed against the shield, and his crest up against the crest, and his helm up against the helm, and breast against breast, embroiled in the action. Let him fight man to man, holding secure in his grasp haft of his sword or his spear. When you know who you are, when your mission is clear, and you burn the inner fire of unbreakable will, no cold can touch your heart, no deluge can dampen your purpose. You know that you are alive. Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. The cowardly man thinks he'll live forever if he keeps away from fighting. But old age won't grant him a truce, even if spears spare him. If you are pained by an external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. Every difficulty in life presents us with an opportunity to turn inward and to invoke our own inner resources. The trials we endure can and should introduce us to our strengths. Prudent people look beyond the incident itself and seek to form the habit of putting it to good use. On the occasion of an accidental event, don't just react in a haphazard fashion. Remember to turn inward and ask what resources you have for dealing with it. Dig deeply. You possess strengths you might not realize you have. Find the right one. Use it. You live as though you were destined to live forever. No thought of your frailty ever enters your head. Of how much time has already gone by, you take no heed. You squander time as if you drew from a full and abundant supply, though all the while, that day which you bestow on some person or thing is perhaps your last. Do not repeat the tactics which have gained you one victory, but let your methods be regulated by the infinite variety of circumstances. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle,